Asato ma satkamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Divine Mother, bless us all, hold our hand, take us across the journey to become Brahmavid, knower of Brahman, knower of who am I in this life alone. Take us from unreal to real, from this world of illusion to the world of reality. Take us from darkness of ignorance to wisdom, to light of knowledge. Take us, Mother, from death to immortality. Om Jai Guru, Om Guru, Jai Guru, Om Guru, Jai Guru, Om Guru, Jai. With the blessings of Divine Mother, God and Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Sri Yukteswar Giri Lahiri Maas hai, Sri Sri Swami Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada, Paramhansa Ramakrishna, and the gods and gurus of all the religion of the world, in the past, present, and in the future. May they bless us all and be with us in this journey for us to ultimately culminate into one truth, Ekam Advaitam, one alone is true. My salutations to each one of you devotees. Welcome to this world. We are starting off today, which we had done tiny bit earlier. We have done quite a bit of travels through the Advaita Vedanta, and today we're going to take up, it may take a little more session, depending on how we get along together, how the questions come from you of understanding. This is not going to be a lecture. It is going to a non-dual meditative process. It's neither going to be a traditional yogic Patanjali Sutra meditation, postures, close your eyes and breathe in and follow the breath, and follow the breath for next 20 years and keep on attaining and then complain to gurus, nothing is happening with me. Or keep on chanting Hamsa for the next 40 years. Or meditate on our Ishta Devata for the next 40, 50 years and continue to take the journey. Today, our journey is going to take us across, on which you all have been doing so much. But this is an ultimate final understanding of Advaita. Yes, you all have advanced so far. Most of you have done a lot. quite a bit. There are confusions, yes, of course. But which journey can be in the path of knowing, path of being aware, where there is no doubt, where there is no confusion? In this journey, you and I, we all are going in with the eyes open, senses open, awareness open, and that which has always been there with us to become knower of that supreme awareness, supreme consciousness, Ekam Advaitam. We have gone over Sarvavyapi, Anantam Advaitam. Sarvavyapi meaning presence everywhere. If it is so, it should be present right now here. Anantam, infinite. It should be right now here. Presence right before we were born, after we leave our body, and we'll continue. Which is this Anantam? This essence of the knowledge of Buddha, knowledge of Paramahamsa, knowledge of the supreme nirvana, enlightenment is there. When we talk about, we always say, why are we in illusion? Why are we suffering? Because we say, because of our greed, desires, etc., and created by Maya. Maya has coupled up together with the supreme consciousness and made Ishvara, God, and this samsara. But it is not so. Advaita Vedanta goes ahead and says, it is only because we have become ignorant about it. We are not knowledgeable anymore. And because we have forgotten about the very thing that is right within us. We are searching for the world, for name, fame, success, peace, happiness, joy, perfect partner, perfect job, perfect office, perfect business, but out there, outside of us. And we are an illusion, and we call it the world of Maya. Mandakya Upanishad had guided us. Oh, it was so lovely to see today one of our favorite devotee of everyone, Vijay Dodi, at 5 in the morning was sending a message of Omkar to everyone. Possibly he did not expect me, and it was very nice, and immediately he recognized the moment I sent a salutation to him, and he reciprocated immediately, and we just exchange our respect in the Brahma Muhurata. This journey, that Omkar, U, and silence. Is the waking state. Omkar representing U is the dream state. And is the deep sleep state. Waking state we know. We're aware. Dream state, notice that dream state. The dream was there when we were dreaming. But before we went into the dream, I was there. I am there when I'm dreaming. When the dream finishes, I am still there. That dream state is like this eternal journey. And then the dream, Mandukya Upanishad is telling us, is the silence, is the Turiya state, the ultimate, that Prajnana Brahman. Consciousness is vast. Brahman is vast, simply vast. Vast, not in a country, not in an ocean, because if it is a country or an ocean, there is a limit. Vast is simply without anything. That means infinite. There is no limit. And that vastness is you and me. How is that? We are this little body and the mind and the name and the frame, Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. We got Vahishkarana, with which we are enjoying the world, are the five senses: eye, ear, nose, touch, taste, and touch. Experiencing the world around, getting the data from the world and coming and feeding into the brain, through the brain neurons and synapses, making a connection and going and making a data feeding to the mind. And then somehow we are tasting the world and making a first person experience. How? That is as yet by the Western world is not known. David Trosson, a famous philosopher and a scientist, he says there is no hard fact of consciousness. Consciousness is ever prevalent and present. And yet, why are we making this mistake? You know why? The moment we observe this world as an object, and the whole world is object, which we are dealing with it continuously. We are seeing, we are hearing, we are touching, we are tasting, we are feeling, we are smelling, we're thinking. Our thoughts are also object. Our mind, our love, our hate, creation are object. And we have done this study through Drishya Viveka. Recollect that world we had done today. What I'm going to do is take you across this. It is a semi-awakened and semi-non-dual meditative state. We're going to take you across through a little journey through the five senses to come to an understanding. Who am I really? In this journey, I'm going to share off and on the screen and also come back to the world before, to the world of as we are interacting with each other. We have, it's a huge understanding of your entire life. It's going to take a little time. But right now we have about 45 minutes left. We are going to leave with some question and answer. And the followers, we will take it on to the next session. But these questions and answers, like this non-dual meditative status, I'm certain you will have. The more the questions you have, the better the clarity in the mind will come. Shravanam, listen. Mananam, reflect, read, ask questions. And then Nididhyasanam, we deeply meditate on that. So in which, first, let me share with you with what Paramahansa Ramakrishna, which we had shared in the last Sunday, 15th of March was his birthday. Paramahansa Ramakrishna says something simple and so powerful and so beautiful. You heard me just now. Keep on taking Ishta Devata's name for next 50, 60 years. And then eventually attain it. Yes, you will attain. Paramahamsa Ramakrishna himself has said that all paths, all rivulets, all would lead. Sources may be different. The water sources, some may be from the rain, some may be from the glaciers, some may be from another river, another lake, but it's all going to end up into one ocean. That one Brahman is what we are talking about. In this, what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is talking about, supported by all the enlightened Advaita masters. In Bengali, he says, Advaita Gan, Advaita knowledge, Advaita Gyan, Achale Bede, Ja Kichu Korbar Karo. Tie the Advaita knowledge in the hem of your skirt, of your shawl. Like, put it in there, tie a knot. Keep your standing solid on that knowledge and then practice anything that you like. Always keeping the essence of the Advaita with you. And that's the journey which we have taken up. We are practicing following the breath. We are doing Hamsa. We are doing Omkar. We are going ahead and doing the entire Kriya Yoga preparations, meditative process, and the journey. Along with all of them, remember, take our mind to that consciousness and become aware of the wisdom, which is where that Shiva nature. We all like Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupaham. This is Shankaracharya's statement. Who is this Shiva within me? Who is this Buddha, which I said a few minutes ago? Or the Paramahamsa, which is there within me? How can I be connected? To which it is not the Maya. Certainly Maya, it does play the role, but it is not that is obscuring us. Maya is obscuring only when the ignorance stays. And the moment you become enlightened, you cut through Maya and you become aware. So our journey today is going to be through that, in which I'd like to share with you one little slide and put you okay. Anubhava matram param brahma. Experience alone, the essence of that experience is Brahman. And same Vijayji and I, we were having a dialogue the other day about the experience. This Anubhav and the experience has got one very special understanding. Anubhava matram param brahma. If I can experience it, experiencing is Anubhava. It is param brahma. But very important here for us to know that this Anubhava does not, very important, I repeat, does not include the experiencer or the object that is experienced. So with what do we experience? We experience anything only if I'm connected to my consciousness. Let's say an anesthesia has been given to me. I am not connected to my consciousness. Almost not. Slightly it is there, very slight. Or if I'm in coma, that consciousness That awareness is almost not there. There is light, or in unconscious state. I'm not connected to my consciousness almost. Slightly it is there, as per Vedanta. In deep sleep, slightly it is there. But we do not do that anubhav experience, experiencing the color, the sound, the word when I'm deep sleep. But yet when we wake up and we say, oh, I had a wonderful sleep. So now, this is what it means, anubhava matram param brahma. If I can experience without, very important, the experiencer. There is no experiencer, there is no object of experience. Then what is it? It is the awareness, the consciousness which is experiencing. With that, I would like you to see Paramahansa Ramakrishna's statement. Tie the knowledge of Vedanta in the hem of your skirt, hem of your dress, hem of your shawl, in your anchal, sari, and do whatever you wish to. So tie the knowledge of Vedanta. Paramahansa Ramakrishna personally, he never gave that book to anybody else, but he gave that book, Ashtavakra Gita, to Swami Vivekananda. And he used to actually close the door and say, don't show it to others. I want you to read it. Why? Same Advaita, the supreme knowledge of the Ashtavakra Gita. He wanted Vivekananda to know and understand. He knew his journey. So now we are going to take it on this awareness journey with our connecting with our awareness, in which I want to take this beautiful flower. So experience this flower. What is it? I am inviting you to calmly experience this flower. To experience it, this flower, since it is not a sound, it is nothing that you're touching, you're experiencing it through digital media. So it is eye, it's your vision. Look at the beautiful, pure white color. A beautiful shape and color. Think. This shape and the color, we've given it a name, flower. And this flower has got further classification called chrysanthemum, a name, chrysanthemum flower. With the color, it has a beautiful fragrance too. Now, this color and the shape, it has been given a name by us. Name is to what? Is to the object. This is an object. Now, reflect calmly with your understanding. We are going into the awareness, understanding. This has got color, pure, beautiful white, and a shape. The color and the shape, which has been given a name of an object called flower chrysanthemum. Reflect. If I take the color and the shape away from you, will there be another thing, object called the flower, chrysanthemum? Reflect. Experience it. In your experience, very important, very essential to this final journey of our understanding to Advaita, final journey, in your experience, can you experience other than the color and the shape another object called flower? Is there, in other words, a flower, a white color, and a shape? Are there three? Are there? Experience it. Close your eyes for a moment.
I didn't understand that.
I have closed my eyes. Can I see the color? Can I see the shape? No. Your memory may be bringing it, but you can't see it with your eye. The color and the shape is the one which you are seeing. And yes, I understand you've given it a name. But the name is to what? To the color and the shape. There is not another object called flower. You will say, no. But sir, that color and the shape is of the flower where the light is falling and reflecting to the cornea and sending electrical pulses to the brain neurons and making synapses and sending a message brain to the mind and saying, this is something we recollect from our memory, called chrysanthemum flower. Vedanta says that is a mistake. That is the Western science of called concept of given to the name and the form. And your understanding from the past knowledge. There is nothing else, object, other than the shape and the color. Another experiment. I close it. What have I done? Taken away the shape and the color from you. Is there the chrysanthemum flower still here, which you can see? You can't. It is only this shape and the flower which you're experiencing through your eye. Now, shape and color is there in front of you. Name given chrysanthemum flower, a flower. If I close the organ, sensual organ, with which we experience the flower, in this case, eye, if I close the eye, or if I did not have vision, I cannot see this with the power of the eye, because I cannot either see, I'm blind, or I have chosen to close my eyes, I cannot see it. So, color and the shape is given to the name of the object, step one. Step two, I am seeing it because of my eye. Through the visual organ eye, I see it. I see it only if I'm not anesthetized, I'm not in coma, I'm not unconscious, I'm not in deep sleep, I'm not in dream sleep. I'm awakened, I'm consciously aware through my awareness, through my consciousness. So the visual seeing, I can see it only when there is awareness. Final understanding on this experiment. This seeing is possible because of the awareness, because of the consciousness. Chetana. चेतना के वजह से ही दिखाई दे रहे. for those who are not very comfortable in English. And second understanding, Chetana with the instrument of the eye can pick up through the instrument of the vision this white and a shape and fit it in, and with the memory recollect it to be a chrysanthemum white flower. If I am not aware of the knowledge, if it is in the ignorance level, I am still aware that I do not know the name, but I am aware of the flower. If I am not aware of flower even, let's say I am an Adivasi or a baby, I am still aware of this. I am conscious of it. I may not know the knowledge. There's the difference between knowledge, learning, the consciousness, but they cannot take place, the knowledge and the awareness, unless the consciousness and the visual organ picks it up. And then visual organ is picking up what? And seeing what? A color and a shape. There is no object called flower separate than the shape and the flower. Reflect on it. This is in the recording. You can listen to it again and reflect. So what am I seeing in this time right now? Is a shape and a color. It's because of the eye. And I can only see it because of the consciousness. In other words, final step, this is nothing else but my consciousness. If I am anesthetized, unconscious in coma, this flower does not exist. It is the same thing with everything that we see in the world. The mountain, the dolphin, the dogs, the desert, the snowclap, the ranges, the people, my husband, my wife, my parent, my children, the people, the entire infrastructures of this universe, the planets. There are many things which is beyond my vision, like this wall in front of me. I can't see beyond that, but I'm aware of the world beyond. I know I'm in this society and what exists there from my memory. If I do not know, I know there is something beyond that. I'm aware, right now, I am in so-and-so society in Pune city in India. I'm aware. My eye cannot see it, but I am conscious of it. This is experiment 1. Reflect. I'm taking you to another experiment. This is a prayer bowl, very famous amongst many religions, particularly the Buddhism. I'm going to, when I sing this, you can hear it. I'm going to strike it once, and it will be nice if you just listen. Be absolutely focused. Notice there is beginning of the sound. There is a wave form in the sound. There is an end of sound, and there is silence. But I am aware of the beginning of the sound. I was aware before the beginning. I am aware during the sound. I am aware the end of the sound. I am aware of the silence. Reflect on it. Omkar. Before I begin to sing Omkar, virtually, not the Pranabadhvani, which is Omkar, it continuously, there is so loudly right now it is on, but that is perceived by some. But when you speak, sing loudly Omkar. We have about 25 minutes still. Before I start singing, there is silence, waking world, dream state world, deep sleep world, and then silence. Om, and U, A-U, M is written in English, but it is U, and M. And U in Sanskrit, when you do Sunday, it becomes O. Om. And then this sound. I'm going to put this, but you will be hearing this sound. I'll be talking about the sound. And you will listen. My request is close your eyes and listen to it with absolute concentration. I'm striking it now. Focus. With the mechanism of hearing through my ear, I could hear the beginning of the sound, a wave form. We know the sound is like a wave, but I can't see a wave. I can feel it in my ear with a typical particular amplitude and frequency. I can sense the end and going, receding sound and going into an end, and then there is silence. I am aware of the silence, aware, conscious. I'm aware of the sound going to end and then ending. I'm aware as the sound is waveform, initial starting and progressively diminishing sound. I'm aware of the beginning of the sound. I'm aware, conscious of the silence before the sound. Listen to it again. Close your eye, concentrate and understand the ultimate teaching of the Advaita. Think. I can experience, in my experience the sound because of mechanism called ear, listening, like eye, vision, seeing, ear, listening, the sound wave through the audiometric canal, sending the message to the brain and to the mind. I can identify from my memory, and if I did not know, never heard of it, I am aware of the sound. Otherwise, I identify this is the sound of my singing bowl or Omkar bowl. And then I'm aware of the diminishing of the sound. I'm aware of it becoming silent, end of the sound. I'm aware of the silence itself. Now, important lesson. Is there another object than the sound which we just heard? It is only the sound, yes, of a particular frequency and a wavelength. step of understanding of the sound experiment. Step 2. If I am not aware, not conscious, would I be able to hear it? If I am under anesthesia, if I am in coma, unconscious, deep sleep, or dream state, I cannot. So, that sound object, everything is, whatever you call as this, as per Vedanta, is an object. Which is the subject. Subject is this you, who's experiencing, experiencer, experienced, whatever we experience, saying this is an object. We experience the sound. Can I experience it if I was deaf? No. I cannot. And can I, even though I'm not deaf, but can I experience it if I'm not conscious? If I'm not anesthetized, not in coma, unconscious, deep sleep state? Can I? No. So, who's this consciousness? Who's this awareness? Vedanta is saying it is you, it is I. I am the experiencer. I'm experiencing the universe, sound, vision, taste, touch, smell. This universe is, I'm breaking it down to the thoughts, to the process of the experiencing, and to the object or the instrument. Bahishkarana are the 5 senses. Antahkarana are the inner senses. 5 senses outside are Bahishkarana, instruments of gathering the world to us. Antahkarana, making analysis, remembering, connecting, making some meaning out of it. Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. But what is Shankaracharya saying? Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, Na Aham. Which is this Aham? That Aham is that Chaitana, consciousness, awareness. So experiencer, experienced object, if you take it away, is the pure experience. Anubhava matram param brahma. That experience is consciousness, is awareness. That awareness cannot connect, understand it. It might be a little confusing, but it is not. As you listen to it again and connect with it. Think, imagine a dream state. Before the dream began, I was there. Then I went on to dream. Dream began. I was there in the dream. They're not real. The dream was not real. It was a dream. At the end of the dream, I was there, and I am still there when the dream is finished. Same thing here. As I am in experience of this beautiful flower, or together, the sound, together, you're experiencing the flower, you're experiencing once again the sound. Can I see the flower if I was blind or my vision is not there? Can I experience the flower if there was no color and a shape? Can I experience the sound if I was deaf? And can I experience both jointly or independently if I was not aware, if I was unconscious, if I was in coma? I cannot. So, who am I? I am Atman Brahman. I am that awareness, the consciousness. I am that. Am I this color and the shape? No, I'm Robbin Ghosh. Am I Robbin Ghosh? Or am I experiencing in the name of the form of the Robbin Ghosh, with the eye of the Robbin Ghosh, this shape and the flower? I am the awareness. Am I experiencing the sound as sound? No, I'm experiencing it as Robbin Ghosh name and form. Am I experiencing it? Am I Robbin Ghosh? No, I am the awareness in the name of the form of Robbin Ghosh, experiencing the sound. Together, I'm experiencing in the name of form of Robbin Ghosh, the flower, the shape and the color, the sound. In the name of the form of the Robbin Ghosh, can experience only if I
didn't
am
understand
aware.
that.
Who is this awareness? Is I. So I am experiencing this color and the shape and the sound through the body of the Robbin Ghosh. I am not this body. I am the awareness. Now take, very favorite of most of us, some food. Taste. I put the food in my mouth. I taste it with my tongue. I'm tasting it, I'm eating it. Just like I was listening to it, I was looking at it, I'm tasting it. After I swallow it, it is gone. I may have lingering taste, I may have memory of the taste. I would love to go down and eat the same burger or the same very special biryani or very special golgappa, but that's the memory and the desire coming from the memory. Taste in the world with my tongue, those things can be tasted. Take the same experience with the smell. Beautiful perfume or terrible smell. You smell it. Smelling, tasting is happening because of the awareness. I am that awareness. Through Robbin Ghosh, name and body in a form. Through the mind and the brain of Robbin Ghosh. Through the eye, ear, taste, bud. I am experiencing, seeing, listening, tasting, smelling. Same thing is with the touch. 5 senses grabs the world and brings it to me, to my brain. So this body connects with that mind, and David Strawson is saying that connects and gives it possible when it is conscious. If it is not conscious, it cannot. So I am that consciousness alone, tasting this entire universe of sight, touch, taste. You will say, what happened to you, Robbin Ghosh, before you were born or after you died? I am not going to die. I was not born. I, a supreme consciousness, was there everywhere. Understand it, this understanding. As we saw the flower, as we heard the sound, My awareness is there. Awareness is there. I'm covering the eye. I'm stopping the sound. Is my awareness still there? It is there. Awareness is not going away. In the awareness experience of vision, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell is appearing in the experience. So I am as an experiencer. I am the Brahman, not the experienced, not the experiencer, but the experience itself. And that is consciousness, is another name, Anubhava, experience. Let's share a little bit of these slides. So let us go over it. We do not know the real nature, the awareness. Somehow it is obscured, and that the appearance in awareness, appearances of the various objects in the awareness, we take to be ourselves, our body and a mind. This is how the illusion called the Maya is coming in. But the moment you know, this is what Paramahansa Ramakrishna is saying, tie the knowledge of Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, on the anchal, on the hem of your shawl, dress, and do whatever you like. You may become a great philanthropist and help the society. You may become a great monk and run off to the mountain Himalaya and meditate. You may become a great monk and stay and serve to the world. You may continue to, like an yogi, sit and take Ishta Devatas, or keep on taking, follow the breath, or do Hamsa or Kriya. Do everything, but keeping in the hem the essence of the awareness, the knowledge. We take to be ourselves the sensory system, working through body and the mind. Follow the slide. Subject appears to be the body and the mind as an object. In my appearance of awareness, the body appears. There are world of objects everywhere, and we are only dealing with the objects. So remember the story of the 10th man? Recollect the background luminousness with which we revealed and yet remains. No experience is possible unless the background, awareness, luminosity remains. The awareness, if it is not there, no experience is possible. It is to be known, we experience it as an object, but the subject experience, the subject is I. And our awareness, our true nature. Remember the 10th man story? You have heard it again and again. Quick, you have 5 minutes left. 10 men crossed. They thought, cross the river, going to the temple. Let's count again. I hope nobody is drowned. And they counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So how 9? Ajnana. Started Vikshepa. Oh, the 10th man is dead. He is drowned. Wise man comes in. A teacher, a guru, a wise man. Looks at it, understands it, and says, wait, why are you crying? They said, our 10th man is dead, drowned. The wise man says, no, 10th man is not dead. I will show it to you. Count again. So they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the wise man holds the hand and he said, Dasabhaktvasi, you are the 10th. You. Why did I mistake to count me or every other person? Because every person is counting object which is outside of the experiencer. Their counting the object. Those 9 for everyone became the object, and he found the answer only in the object. He forgot about himself as the subject. So where are we finding in the world, in the universe? In the object. Where the world, the universe is in the subject. They understand the water is separate from the wave. But is the wave separate from the water? It cannot sustain. The very famous Himalayan monk says it in Hindi. Drashta drishya se nyara hai. Drashta, the witness, the observer, is separate from the observed world. Yes, it's true. I'm seeing it. I am separate. But कभी आप सोचा है क्या कि दृश्य दृष्टा से न्यारा है? No. Drishya is not separate. Drashta is separate. Gold bar is separate from the ornament, the tiara, the bangle, the necklace, the ring. But are the bangle, tiara, necklace, and ring separate from the gold? No. The dreamer is separate from the dream. I am there in my dream. At the beginning, during the dream, at the end of the dream, I still exist. But the dream is dream. Same way this world when we deal with the observation. And this consciousness, this awareness is always there, it's vast, it's infinite, it's Advaitam. Many people say, once you get this knowledge, then you will say, oh, I am the Brahman, I am the awareness, I don't have to bother about all this. You know, something else happens. You're the wave in the ocean. You have become aware. I am not separate from the water, I am the water. You and I become aware, I am the consciousness. Then you see every other wave also of the water. You see every other person, object, things is made of the same consciousness. Your husband, your wife, your children, your parent, your colleagues, your friend, your enemy, the one who you hate. Notice the old age, the disease, the sickness, the pain. It is an experiencer experiencing. I am not attached. It is the mind and the body which is experiencing. That is why Vivekananda said, do not be flawed when somebody appreciates you, because the same word somebody else is going to use it differently and hurt you. So be detached from the obsequiousness, we call it makhanbaji, and be detached from somebody using hateful word. Pray for that person. Pray for the elevation. The consciousness is vast, infinite. Aham Brahmasmi. What does that mean? I am the Brahman. Aham is which is that awareness, not this body and the mind. That awareness within me, the consciousness. Brahmasmi. Brahma is just meaning vast. Not country, not ocean, not anything. Just imagine a blue, beautiful sky encompassing everything. Whether you're flying or in the ground, you're in Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, or in Cape, North Pole, South Pole. The beautiful sky is everywhere encompassing. Consciousness is like that, which is me, which is I. Awareness, consciousness, awareness, in which the experiencing the world is happening. Seer and the seen. This is Drisya Viveka. We'll take it on our next session. We had learned through this also the same awareness, but in which, in short, brief, it limited us. It gave us the same message that I am the drashta, I am the witness. I am the experiencer. but I am not the body and the mind. It did, but it also limited us. Why? Because that same flower, I am seeing the flower, I is seeing, I is separate from the flower. I'll take it on more. That means the world is separate from me. Understand that's Samkhya philosophy, not Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta, we are one vast awareness. Awareness is the observer and mind is the observed. The last message, Paramahansa Ramakrishna, tie the knot of the knowledge of Vedanta in the hem of your skirt and do whatever you like. Follow whatever processes, but keep the essence of the Advaita within you. Remember, we still continue to do the breathing, the pranayam, follow the breath. We do still the Hamsa, we still do the Omkar, we still do the Kriya Yoga, and we still go ahead and do Vedanta meditation to Nirvikalpa Samadhi in our Abhyasa, in our sadhana. And remembering always, I am the awareness, Aham Brahmasmi. This vastness is true meaning of Aham Brahmasmi. Tat Tvam Asi Mahavakyas. What does that mean? Tat is that awareness is you. That vastness is you. I am Atman Brahman. I am Atman. Atman, the consciousness is vast. Prajnana Brahman, that awareness is vast Brahman. Strict meaning. Understanding with the Mahavakya. I open it to all of you for questions. We have finished 1 hour, but you may ask a few questions. I think Zoom shall tolerate. Let's get back to the screen.
Dr. Ghosh, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Yeah. First is, where does intuition feature in Vedanta? You mentioned about the senses and you mentioned about consciousness and awareness. Okay, that is my first question. Where does intuition feature? Second question is, you gave the examples of the flower and the bell. And in a way, the way I interpreted it was, until and unless you have the senses, we won't be able to sense the object, and that world of that flower or that sound does not exist. Now, I'll give you an example. There was a very famous musician, I guess I'm not remembering the name, Beethoven or maybe some other musician, who was deaf as well as blind. Maybe that person was a musician or some other, but a person who was very well accomplished in the field, though that person was blind as well as deaf and dumb perhaps. How did that person excel in the field? Obviously that world was created even without having sensed the object. So in a way, I am like, my 2 questions are interlinked. How does it feature in Vedanta?
Okay. There is this, Rajiv, good question, and these are big doubts. But if you look at it very simply, whether Western science-wise or to the Advaita, the intuition is inner tuition, intuitive, which you say, intuition is the power of the mind coupled with the essence of the memory, and which in turn is the experience of the previously gathered from the memory, the knowledge, that same mano, buddhi, chitta, that is an ahankar, ego. With that collection, you have a power called intuitive or sixth sense. This is also an object, but can you have that intuition reflecting loudly if you are not conscious? if you're not aware. Took the example of that same musician. Honestly, that is a very arbitrary example, though you must have read it and heard about it. You may have even experienced him, but we do not know to analyze right now to understand that what all the faculties he had, what all faculties he didn't have. If, let's say, he had one faculty out of the five senses, or he didn't have any one of the five senses. So your question must be saying, what is it that made him such a successful something? We need to have more data on that. It is certain that if you and I are not conscious, that is, let's say, anesthetized before operation, or in coma, or unconscious, we have no connection with the world. Why? Because we have no connection with the senses. Reflect on it, think on it. Through the memory, mind, ego, buddhi, we have got antahkarana and we got bahirkarana, which are the five senses. This is how, if you recollect that famous Advaita chart, which we had made a beautiful, I can show it to you, Mom. Can you show that slide, please, the chart? I'll share with you again. The consciousness, like the solar power, reflecting on the reflective consciousness on the mind and the brain, which is like the moonlight, receiving the light from the sun. And we say, wow, beautiful moonlight, full moon or partial moon. But we never connected with the sun. Why? Because we never see the sun. So what has happened in this world today, Rajiv, is we have got disconnected with this called the consciousness, awareness. This is reflecting on the mind and the brain, reflective consciousness. The mind getting the data from the brain, which in turn is getting the data from the five senses and from the body, which in turn is sending the message. But recollect that Google car driving California, parked right next to you in the traffic crossing for no driver, maybe driving much better than you, but it has no first person experience. And this is what David Chalmers is talking about, and Grayson Dawson Strassen is talking about. There is no heart fact of consciousness. It's a little obviously different, but it is a good information to know and study. Today, Strassen is saying there is no heart fact of consciousness. There is heart fact of matter. Why? Because matter is diminishing into proton and neutron and sub-atomic particles, meson, boson, electric. It's electric from the gross, infinite, small and smaller and smaller. Consciousness is always prevailing. Now, without the consciousness, senses do not work. Without the senses, I cannot experience the world. That particular angle where you said, what all did he have? It will be worthwhile recollecting it, and you and I can easily come to the conclusion, whatever he did, how did he do it? As far as we are concerned, Vedanta is concerned, there is no other world than only one, the subject and the object. Subject is I, and that is Aham, I am Atman, and vastness is the Brahman, as per all the Vedas which we talked about. Object is everything else that you experience. Drishya can be separate from Drashta. But Drashta is not separate from Drishya. Gold brick is separate from the gold ornament, but ornament is not separate from gold brick. Waves are separate from the water, but water is not separate from the wave. All the waves are only water alone. Same thing is with the dream. And this is why often we hear, this is the dream world. What does that mean? Because we look at the object with our senses, which are not true. It is only through the sensual deep feedback. To culminate to your question, intuitive power is a function of the same mind and the brain together. It's also an object. And it cannot work if I'm not in conscious state, if I'm in coma. There is no intuitive power. There is some recollection you and I have read, who was anesthetized and who was operated and who experienced something and came out and became alive and experienced, I saw the Divine Mother came and blessed me. That is where it shows us that there is a tiny bit of consciousness, even during anesthesia or in coma state. Is consciousness, awareness is still prevailing. I hope that deals with your questions. Any other questions, Ravi?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Ghosh, may I ask a question? Thank you so much for this very, a good talk on Vedanta. Awareness or the higher consciousness to me feels like a concept that I agree with. But how do I, when I'm still in this body, in this mind, I'm an organism in this world of objects, how do I then experience it? Because it's like asking the eyeball to see itself, or expecting the sugar to taste its own sweetness. So in this world, is it realistic for me to really experience it, or I have to just accept this is the understanding and this is the concept?
Tell me your name, please.
I'm Safala, sir.
Say that again.
Safala.
Okay, Safala. Very good doubt. And my simple answer over here is to be with us a little more and more and more and take up the journey. How do I do it? See, let's unpack your question. First is, tell me your question first time again. How am I going to, I can understand this concept, but how do I link it with my experiences? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It is basically that when you say detach yourself from the world of objects, agreed that the end-living principle in all the world of objects, whether it's a plant or a bacteria or a different people, the end-living principle is the same. The substratum is the pure consciousness, the higher consciousness. But in this lifetime, where we want to experience that, how do I experience it without having a body or a mind or the intellect, which again belongs to the world of objects? To me, it becomes a little, I don't know, contradictory, or I'm unable to understand the next step. The awareness as a concept, I understand.
Okay. It is not a concept. It is not philosophy. It is not experience. The moment you experience, let's say I experience, understand it this way, Safala, if I am speaking your name correctly.
Correct.
You experience this. Tell me, am I experiencing it, or is this clock experiencing me?
I am experiencing it.
Who is that?
If I connect myself to Safala, I am experiencing it. So if I've connected myself to my form and my body, then I will say that I am experiencing
a little slowly. You'll have to take up some of our earlier session and it will come up clear to you. But let's answer it. The moment I connect with I, Safala, which is a name and a form.
Correct.
Which is a body, which has got that 5 senses and a body, and ending up with the brain, which ending up with the mind. It is not a concept, but understand it. That I, which is experiencing the clock, it is utilizing the Bahir Karana, which is the 5 senses, utilizing the Antak Karana, which is the mind and the brain. It has got a form, a shape, a color, which is what, like I shared with you, the flower or the sound or the taste. But who is experiencing it? It is I. Who is that I? It is not the name, it's not the body, it's not the form. Mano buddhi chitta ahankar is na aham. Shankaracharya's very famous Taittiriya Upanishad comment. I am not this. Who is this I? I is that that awareness experiencing. Experiencer is not there. Experienced object is not there. Only the experience itself is the awareness. That awareness, it is not absurd or vague. It is just an understanding. Understanding is, Safala, is becoming a little tricky because you are not aware. What is that? Called ignorance. Now, understand another example. This is my hand. Is this hand experiencing me or I am experiencing the hand?
So everything that is being experienced.
Just answer it. Otherwise, we will go into.
I am
who's
the higher is the actual experience is from the higher, the consciousness, the awareness.
No, see, the words that you're using are from our journey. You have to become very exact with the Advaita. The higher is not there. Sakala, you are that higher. That you is not the name, not the form, not a girl. See, in a body, when you talk about a body, if I ask you, are you a girl? You said yes. I said, how do you know that? You said, I know it. Who is that I who knows it? You said the body. It is the awareness which knows I am in the form of a girl and I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a professional, whatever. The boy, similarly, now we are talking about the body consciousness. But there is something which is beyond the body,
beyond that,
which you and I are not aware you're calling higher. No, it is you. And we have become unconscious of our consciousness. And we have become only object-oriented to the world. Understanding it, to take up this journey, beautiful question. These questions are the ones you must come up with more and always call up, discuss with lots of very good, highly powerful Vedantists there in this group right now. Share between, or always you are welcome to call me up. Understand it this way. Okay. The water is separate from the wave. Is the wave separate from the water?
No.
Now, wave cannot sustain if the water is not there.
Is not there.
Understand it. Understand it now. Think of this sentence. It will clarify your little bit of doubt, but it is just the beginning because it is taken, something like 6,000 plus years that we know as the Vedanta has brought this message for you and me to understand. And Vivekananda said, my body will die, but I am going to continue to work on every individual till every one of us embrace the wisdom of Vedanta and make it our own. Our journey is on the same principles of Vivekananda, and we seek his blessings and of our all gurus to bless us to pick up the journey. Now, look at it this way. Listen to this statement. The ocean, the waves, the bubbles, and the froth contain water in it.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Glass of water here. Give me the glass. Now, I'm taking this glass. I have imagined water in it. Okay, Sapula? I can take the water away and put it into, let's say, this bowl.
Another vessel.
Water is separate, glass is separate.
Correct.
This is the word from where the question is coming. Can I do that? Can I do that by taking the water away from the ocean or the wave?
No.
or the bubble of the froth, and will the ocean bubble, froth, waves remain?
No, that's the substratum.
So
That's
now
the basis.
understanding
Yeah.
this, without the consciousness, we are dead. Body is dead.
Yeah, we don't exist.
This is
We are not real. Yeah.
Tiny bit is coma. Slightly higher is unconscious. Slightly higher is deep.
The deep
Slightly
state.
higher dream state. Slightly higher absent-minded, not focused, awakened state. So
Awakened state.
that higher is no one else. Tat Tvam Asi. You
Asi.
Now your question is leading into what I can understand. How do I deal with this world? When you are the wave, like you become awakened. Our journey is the final journey of the Advaita.
It's to be awakened.
Almost 10, 12, 15 years. Rajiv, how many years have you practicing? Rajiv, are you there? Okay.
I started in 2011. So it's almost 10 years. More than 10 years.
Yeah, it is for decades that we are doing it. So understand it this way. The moment I become aware, what is aware? Awakened. What is Vivekananda saying? Uttishtata Jagrata. Arise, awake. All you and I have to do is become awake and become aware of what? This essential knowledge. Then what happens? I become Buddha. What is Buddha? The awakened one. The meaning of Buddha is the one who knows. Now, Paramahamsa, the one who knows. Shiva, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupoham. I am that Shiva nature, the Buddha nature, the Paramahamsa nature, is you and me. Only thing we have forgotten about it. Now, when you become aware, how do you deal with the world, with this body and the mind and experiencing object? Very simple. The moment you realize I am a wave, I am playing the role of the wave, but I am not this wave. I am water.
Correct.
Everywhere in me is water. I am playing the role of the body, of the wave. Now what will happen is when you look at every other wave, everybody else in the samsara,
it looks as
all of one water. There are no different water. So now what happens? Infinite love oozes out of you as oneness. Water is one. Call it jal, call pani, call tanni, call you in French, call water in English. They're all water. That oneness comes in within you. That's called the state of nirvana. And that's the journey towards which Paramahamsa Ramakrishna is saying, tie the knowledge of the Vedanta in the hem of your sari and continue to work with all
in this world.
Yes, ma'am. I hope that starts up your journey. Do lots of in YouTube, lot of sessions there of our sessions of the Zoom as well as otherwise. Listen to it. Don't hesitate to ask.
Reminder from Anil and Kishan for budget and cash flow.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Sir. Thank you. No, for now, thank you.
Any other doubts? We are grateful to Supreme Divine Mother, Swaguna Brahman, to Advaita Nirguna Brahman, Brahma Rupi Mother, Shiva Swarupa, Krishna Brahma Maheshwara, to Omkar Babaji, Kalpa Yogi Mahavatar Babaji, the Deathless Master. We are deeply grateful to our Gurus, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar Giri Lahari Mahase, Swami Sri Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahamsa Ramakrishna. May the divine grace which has spoken through each one of us and have interacted continue to grace us so that we may walk away with one point, one thing, learn it in our consciousness and become awakened to who we really are. Akasha Shanti, Prithvi Shanti, Jalaspataya Shanti, Agnyaya Shanti, Gaur Shanti, Manaspataya Shanti, Om Uttaradesha Shanti, Dakshinaya Shanti, Paschimaya Shanti, Purvadesha Shanti. Om Manaha Shanti, Chittaha Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Guru Om Guru, Jai Guru Om. Jai Guru Om Guru, Jai Guru Om. Om Guru Jai Guru, Jai Guru Om Guru. Om Guru Jai Guru, Jai Guru.